Oh,
Okay.
we are live.
Yay.
Hello,
Welcome,
everyone.
everybody. I'm so excited that this is actually happening.
Me too.
Are we all set on YouTube, Maren?
We're all set.
Awesome. Okay, well, hopefully this is live and going out to everybody. But welcome to our Fall in France info session for our retreat happening September 8th through 15th. My name is Haley. I am the founder and co-owner of the Napa Table, and I wanted to take a moment to introduce my sister Maren, who is the co-owner of the Napa Table. A lot of people might just see my face. I do a lot of the social media stuff and all the things on the ground in Napa, but Maren really is the heart and soul behind a lot of our virtual offerings and basically keeps the ship afloat while I run around doing stuff in Napa. So we're just so excited to be able to be doing this together, and you'll get to learn a little bit more about us in just a few minutes. But we are so excited to talk about our retreat tonight. So our retreat will be September 8th through 15th, starting that evening of September 8th in Paris and ending in Paris on the morning of the 15th. We wanted to do this so that you would have easy access to and from one place to fly into, one place to fly out of. I know there's a lot of people who are wanting to add on and go to different places in Europe before or after this trip. So hopefully that will make it really easy for you. But we are just so excited to immerse you in French food heaven. A little bit about why we are doing this retreat. So I have been traveling back and forth to France over the last almost 11 years, learning as much as I could about French culture, French food culture, eating as much as I possibly can. And every single time I go, I find myself just falling more and more in love with this place. And I think Paris and France in general has this really magical way of making you feel like it belongs to you. I think everybody feels like they own a little piece of Paris. And I love that about the city. I love that about this country, that it has this magical pull and this magnetism that allows you to feel like you are part of it. So when I got into cheese, I knew that bringing folks to France was a goal of mine. But I got into cheese in 2019. So it's been about 5 years now. And then COVID hit. And, had a baby, moved, all the things, and rebuilding this business from the ground up, basically, but knowing that this was the overall goal. So it just seems like the right time. I feel like all the stars have aligned. And now, especially with Maren and I doing this together, it feels like we have the bandwidth to be able to create something that is really beautiful and done with a lot of intentionality, which was kind of a deal breaker for us. We didn't want to plan something that was not going to be planned to the T and be an absolutely incredible experience. So I'm so grateful that we can show you the mindful food culture of France in these really beautiful places of both Paris and Normandy.
Yeah. Something I was thinking about while you were saying that was that us being able to plan this together and do it together fits right in with the whole feel and mood of the trip anyways, because our whole purpose with this company is using cheese and fine foods as a vehicle for connection. And we're doing it kind of the opposite. We've connected together and now we're bringing this to you. And that's why this trip really is possible, is because we've had support with each other and from our other tour staff.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So a little bit about myself. I would guess that probably most of you know me a little bit. We're a pretty small business, so I feel like a lot of our customers and clients, I feel like we're all friends. But like I said, I've been traveling to France for the last 10 years. I definitely consider myself to be a Francophile. And I am a certified cheese professional. So the American Cheese Society is the governing body, I guess, of cheese people in the US. And I passed my certification this past summer. It's kind of similar to being a sommelier, but just for cheese. So as a certified cheese professional, I do private and group cheese tastings here in Napa. We do cheese tours here in Napa as well. And I started out actually as a cheesemonger, so working behind the counter at Antonelli's Cheese Shop in Austin, Texas. I worked there for a couple of years and absolutely loved it. They taught me so much. And then when we moved here to Napa, I really wasn't really interested in going back behind the counter, wanted to do something where I could infuse a little bit more personal, intimate touches into learning about cheese. So that's where these cheese tastings really started. Before I got into cheese, I was working as a yoga instructor. So that's where a lot of this mindfulness, mindful eating, intuitive eating comes in. So there tends to be a lot of talk about how food makes us feel, what's happening in our bodies when we're eating. And that's very much a part of what we're hoping to bring into the retreat as well. You're going to learn a lot about cheese, a lot about food, a lot about France, but really it's this connection point where we can focus on connecting with ourselves and with each other. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I have a 3-year-old. He just turned 3 yesterday, 2 huge golden retrievers, and my husband. And we love living here in Napa. And I feel like it's been a great fit for us. And the only complaint I have about living in Napa is that it's so far from France, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's about as far as you can get from in America.
Yeah.
We're on the wrong coast. Okay, I'm Marin, Haley's older sister. I live in Utah, which is not as exciting as Napa, in a different way, I guess. I have 6 children all together. We're a blended family, so I have 3 stepkids, and then I had 2 of my own from my first marriage, and then me and my husband have a little almost 3-year-old together. He's only 5 weeks behind Haley's little boy. So the 2 of them are little bestie cousins, even though they look like this in height. Her boy is like almost double the size of mine.
I mean, but that's us. I'm about a foot taller than Marin. That's how we've always been.
I basically inserted myself into this business. I watched Haley from afar and close up and just loved everything that her company was doing when she had it started in Texas, and then they moved to Napa, and me and her have always been really close. And I was not really anywhere in that world yet, but I was very drawn to it. I'm super drawn to the mindfulness, to connection, to the slowdown, to just really like feeling my way through life and stop listening to the outside world. And so I just was so inspired by everything she was doing, and then had lots of great ideas. So I just kind of said, Haley, we could do this and we could do that, and I'd help you. And then here we are later, and my name's on all the paperwork. So that's also the story of our life. I, like she said, mostly handle lots of like the managerial type stuff. Have lots of ideas, and very excited about things. And I'm really excited about all of our digital offerings that we've created for everyone, because obviously most of you can't get to Napa, even though if you can, that's the best way to do it, is to go and learn from Haley and sometimes meet in person. But in the meantime, we offer this awesome monthly subscription class where if you are interested in like wanting to take a class from us, and it could be a myriad of things, like we do cheese board tutorials and mindful eating rituals, and just something different every month at such a super low price. It's only $13 a month, and it's even cheaper if you buy it like in bulk. And you get to learn directly from us every month, and sometimes twice a month. But that's a great option. We also offer a mindful eating class, an online course, which is like, it's a great price point. It's a really great gift for someone, like especially the holiday time, if you're thinking of your sister-in-law or your mother-in-law or your spouse or whoever it may be that you just don't want to go buy another thing for. This is a really, really fun thing to do. And then we do offer we're not yet, but we're going to open enrollment soon, a cheese foundations course where if you're really interested in learning the actual cheese business and knowing way more than just how to like follow directions on how to make a board, but if you want to know the theory behind it and basically be able to do what Haley does, which is a lot, we offer that course. And it's a pretty intensive course, but it's really fun. And so keep your eyes open for that. And you can find all of this information on our website. So yeah, that's about me. And the reason we're telling you all about ourselves is because we obviously will be the ones with you in France, leading and guiding and enjoying right along. And we do have 2 awesome tour staff supporting us who will be with us for about half the time in France.
Yeah, they'll be with us in Normandy, Lucy Hardy and Michelle Katz. They when I was living in Texas, they're my 2 best friends from there. They actually now are living in England. And so it's been really helpful to have them because they're kind of boots on the ground over in the UK, can travel back and forth to France pretty easily. And they both have very different strengths that are going to round out our tour staff so well. And I'm so excited to get to know all of you and everybody who joins us on the tour. But also for you to get to know these amazing women, Maren, my sister, and then Lucy and Michelle. Lucy is a speech pathologist. She would say she's just an enthusiast, but she is a pastry expert. And I think she's the most enthused about all the pastries we're going to be enjoying while we're in France. And she is the organization queen. She is so helpful, just a sweet human, incredible person. And then Michelle is a therapist. She's a marriage and family therapist, and she is going to be bringing in a lot of mindfulness aspects to the retreat. She'll be offering some workshops for us during some of our meal times. She is absolutely hilarious and just brings a great comedic relief. And our goal in kind of having all 4 of us, especially when we're in Normandy, is to just make it so that while you are here and on this trip with us, that you can completely relax and be fully present in the moment and have people that are here to support you and that are taking care of things for you, and that you can just really enjoy. And I am so excited and honored that these women are going to be joining us. It's going to be incredible. So they would have been on the call tonight, but it's the middle of the night in England. So they're committed, but maybe not that committed.
So we'll jump in now to the logistics of the retreat. We do want to put kind of a disclaimer out there. And if you sign up and you have to complete waivers and forms and stuff, and just know that obviously we are not providing the actual location ourselves of where we're staying, the accommodations. We are using beautiful, wonderful hotels and restaurants for our food. And so we're always at the mercy of whatever's happening with them. So we have everything ready to go. But if the unthinkable happens, like structural damage or fire, or they go out of business, which they won't, but something that we have no control over, the accommodations, everything is subject to change. However, we would obviously replace it with something equally beautiful and up to value, but we just want to make that disclaimer. Yeah. So let's talk about our first place, our hotel in Paris, where we'll be staying. We have done, the 4 of us, your tour staff, have done all of this trip already ourselves. And so we can attest personally to the amazingness of it. So this hotel was just lovely.
Lovely. This is Hôtel de la Perle. It is in the 6th arrondissement in Saint-Germain-des-Prés, which is a fabulous location in Paris, right in the city center. There is so much to do around that area. Fabulous shopping. There are great restaurants. There's beautiful little boutiques, amazing pastries, incredible boulangeries. Everywhere you kind of step out of the hotel and you can get anywhere in 10 minutes to the Luxembourg Gardens or the Rodin Museum, amazing monuments, all within a very short walking distance. And we're about 10 minutes from the Seine River, which is kind of right in that heart of the city. So this is a little boutique hotel. They offer daily breakfast for us, and the breakfast was delicious. It's simple, it's yummy. They've got coffee, tea, juice, all different types of pastries, eggs, and it's also a great spot because they have a little bar for happy hour. So they open it up and can make drinks, or you can have coffee or tea throughout the day. And the staff is amazing. And one thing that we were really excited excited about is that the beds are so comfortable. That was like a non-negotiable for me of just, if we're going to take people, I mean, I've stayed in a lot of different hotel rooms over the years where you're like tossing and turning all night after flying a red eye over to Europe. And that's just not fun at all. Maren and I can both attest that we slept like babies in these beds. So definitely a really great location and a beautiful hotel. It just, there's lots of little details. And the main dining area is so spectacular. So this is where we will start the retreat. It will start on the early evening, late afternoon of September 8th. And we will do kind of a welcome happy hour where we'll chat a little bit. We'll do kind of a French food culture, French cheese 101, get to know everybody. And then we'll head to dinner from there. So that will be kind of the beginning of the retreat. And we'll be there for, I believe, 3 nights, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. We'll be at Hotel La Pearl.
And then on the morning of the 11th, we will head out to Normandy, making a few wonderful stops along the way. But we will head to this amazing castle that was just so different than Paris and the Parisian hotel, but equally, if not more, actually stunning. And just, it was like stepping back into this amazing preserved time and feeling like so far removed from that hustle and bustle of the city, but also still feeling like you were in this magical place. At least that's how all of us felt when we were there. And the pictures that we have are ones we took, and they just don't do the place justice.
Yeah. Chateau du Boussile is a family-run chateau in the heart of the Norman countryside. So you go down this dirt path to get to the chateau. There's cows on either side. There's donkeys on the property. But it is absolutely stunning, and it's just so quiet. It feels like you're in a Jane Austen novel when you wake up every morning, because the little fluffy French chickens are out there like clucking away and eating their breakfast. And you can take walks along the grounds and visit the cows or the donkeys. And the family that runs this, it's a multi-generational family that's had the chateau in their family for years. It's got a very rich history. And we'll all be staying in the chateau, and it offers a beautiful breakfast every day. And then we will also have a few nights with a private chef at the chateau as well. So we'll have lots of opportunities to eat there, to have some really glorious meals around their beautiful dining room table. On the chateau property as well is a lovely private pool for guests. So it will be nice if, we'll have some time throughout the retreat. There'll be plenty of free time for you to take a nap or go lay by the pool or go on a walk. And in September in Normandy, it will be very beautiful and warm and sunny, and we'll have lots of opportunities to enjoy all of those amenities. The other really cool thing about the chateau is that there is something called an honesty bar. So like we said, we will be having breakfast there every morning. We'll be having dinners there a few nights while we're in Normandy, but they have a little honesty bar in the foyer of the chateau that has drinks. It has coffee, tea, water, soda, wine, beer. It's got full meals. It has snacks, anything that you need, so that if there's something that you need throughout the time, and it's very carefully appointed. They put a lot of care and attention. Erica, who is the wife of the husband whose family owns the chateau, she is immaculate and very attentive to detail. And so everything is just so beautiful and so lovely, wonderfully put together.
Yeah. And they're lovely people. That was something I really loved about even the hotel in Paris. When we spoke to the staff, they're very personable and just treated us like we were lifelong friends.
Yeah. And I think that's the goal, is for us to be able to not only see really beautiful things, but for all of you to be able to meet incredible people who are living, working in France and providing incredible experiences. I felt like our connections with the people we met and that you will get to meet on this retreat are just, they're salt of the earth, incredible humans.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about what we're including in this retreat. We're giving you 8 days and 7 nights in France. So we'll start, the first 3 nights will be in Paris, and then we'll spend the next 3 nights at the chateau, and then our last morning we'll wake up and go back to Paris again, making some fun stops, and then we'll end with our last night in Paris. We've got all the chateau and the hotel covers all your breakfasts, so every breakfast while you're there is taken care of, and some of your lunches, and they'll be like in conjunction with some fun things we're doing, and then 6 of your dinners are included in the retreat price. So we did want to leave some ample free time for you to explore the city, to explore the cities we're going to, and some of you might be so full from the other things we're doing that you might not want 3 giant meals a day. So, and we wanted to give you some room to explore and find your own spots and snack and do what you wanted. So, and obviously we're providing all the transportation. We're working with a great company, a very comfortable ride to and from the city. And that's what we're doing. So going over more what we're doing, we'll be including excursions, and all your retreat price covers all the entry fees to the places that we've arranged for us to go, and activities, including classes and mini workshops on French food culture, which you'll get to experience a lot of, mindful eating, and introduction to Paris cafe culture. Go ahead, Haley, take it away.
Yeah, then we'll be doing a wonderful cheese tasting with Jennifer Greco, she owns Chez Lulu. She is an amazing cheese professional in Paris. We'll be doing food and pastry and chocolate tours in Paris. And then while we're in Normandy, there will be a myriad of things that we get to do each day, including but not limited to. We'll be spending a day in Mont Saint-Michel, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's this gorgeous abbey out in the middle of the ocean. Spending a day there. We'll have the opportunity to go to Saint-Malo, which is a Brittany town right on the coast of France that has like the oldest butter maker in the world. We'll have opportunities to visit cheesemakers that make raw camembert that's made with farmstead milk. We'll get to visit a few other very small producers that you might not get to ever visit otherwise, from the connections that we've created, and all of those things. So our goal is, besides some of the like little lunches and those meal times when it's free time, is for all of these things to be included so that you can just sit back and experience some very, very unique things that you wouldn't get to experience maybe otherwise.
Yeah.
And then we're also, sorry, Maris. I was just going to say, we're also willing and very happy to help you with any of the other planning that you need help with. So if you're like, I need help looking at, flights, or I need, can you help me? Maybe you're nervous about taking an Uber from the airport into the city center, any of that stuff, we're happy to help with recommendations. Or if you're going on to another part of France, we're here for you along the way. I know that it can be stressful getting to and from places, and so we want to make it as easy as possible. So we are happy to help with any recommendations before, after, or during the retreat.
Yeah. So just to clarify, we won't actually like book other things for you. We won't be like a travel coordinator that way, but we will give recommendations based on our experiences going to and from France several times and being in the city. So we won't book your flight for you or research prices, but we can give you like suggestions and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we do not include in our retreat price airfare. We want you to be able to use your points, choose your airline, choose your seats, come and go to France as you please. We feel like that's best left to you. And we do not cover transport getting you to the hotel and like from our starting point. And then once we leave the hotel, that's at your own discretion too. So I know several people will probably want to stay stay later or come earlier. And at that point, again, we're happy to help recommend how you get around places, but that will be on you. Some of the meals, so most of your lunches and I think one dinner.
Yeah.
Yep, they're not covered.
One day while we're in Normandy, we're planning, if all goes according to plan, we're planning on having the option to go to Saint Malo or stay back at the chateau. So that night would be kind of on your own, either eating at the Honesty Bar at the chateau or finding a place to eat on your own in Saint Malo. So we're trying to give a few options where things are flexible, where maybe if you're feeling really tired from a busy day, you can stay back at the chateau or continue to adventure on, giving some different options like that.
Yeah. So obviously your personal purchases and souvenirs, we do not cover those. Okay, let's talk about some of the highlights. We kind of already did, but here's some pictures again that we took from our trip there. We've got Paris at night, which is just spectacular. After to and from dinners there, it's so fun to walk around the city and look in all the shops and just see the beautiful lights. Like we can walk to the Eiffel Tower and see that. It's again stunning in person. It's like unreal how huge and beautiful it is. These are some of the cities we've got on floor in the middle, which that was probably my favorite city. Saint Malo in the bottom left corner. The top right is the Abbey at Mont Saint Michel, which again just spectacular. And then a cow from a really great farm where we just happened to pull over because we saw a sign for ice cream, and we met the owners of this farm and made great friendships. And now we get to take you and get a tour and eat their amazing homemade ice cream. And it's like, this is really great. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you wanted to add, Haley, before I move on?
No, I think, we're not sending out the exact itinerary quite yet. We have everything booked, but we want to leave things a little bit flexible. But I think it's important for us to talk a little bit about the travel to and from Paris to Normandy. So it's not that long of a drive from where we're starting in Paris to where we'll end up at the chateau. It's about a 4-hour drive, but we want to break it up along the way. So we will be stopping at different cheesemakers, and we'll be stopping in different towns, both to and from Paris. So it's not like we'll have to waste an entire day traveling there. We have a lot of really beautiful, fun stops so that everything is kind of broken up, so it doesn't feel so arduous to get back and forth. So that we'll visit little small towns in Normandy and in the countryside. We'll visit cheesemakers, we'll visit farms, we'll stop and try baguettes from the top rated boulangerie in France. We stopped there on our way. So those are some of the fun things that we'll get to do to and from, so that it definitely feels like we're adventuring the whole way and not just spending 2 full days in the car. That's really important to us.
Good point. Yep. Yeah. And plenty of bathroom breaks.
Yeah. When we open up registration, we will be sharing more of like the specific details, but these are just kind of some of the highlights of some of the things that we'll be doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the part you're probably wondering about is pricing. We wanted pricing is not, so registration is not open yet. Obviously, you can't sign up today. That won't be open until January, but we'll make sure that everyone gets full time prep time before. We won't just spring it on you. We have an early bird pricing cost and then a regular pricing cost. We do also want to point out that all of these prices reflect double occupancy in your room. And so most likely if you're coming on this trip, most likely you're coming with a friend or family members, someone you don't mind sharing a room with. If you do want a single, like if you want your own hotel room, that's fine, but you will have to pay for 2 spots. So just keep that in mind. So so we do have a non-refundable deposit. It's $1,800, and that is due right when you sign up. And it is non-refundable no matter what. So just keep that in mind. It holds your spot, obviously, indefinitely. And then by March 8th, certainly if you could, the sooner you'd like to pay for the whole thing, absolutely. But for those of you who might want to have more of a payment plan structure or a little bit more time, here are the deadlines. We've got due by March 8th, your second installment, and then due by May 8th is the final cutoff date to pay in full. So on May 8th and later, your payment, all of that at that point is non-refundable. So If you've paid whatever you've paid by May 8th, that's it. Okay. Of course, there's always the option to, if May 8th comes and goes and something comes up and you feel like you can't make the trip or there's conflict, we really are not able to refund you it. However, you could switch, like get someone to take your spot, and we could do the switching around and they could come on the trip, and pay for it. So there's always an option to try and find someone to take your spot, which would be really, really sad. We hope that anyone who signs up wouldn't have to do that, because that would be heartbreaking for us and for you. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Talk about regular pricing, Mears.
Oh yeah, regular pricing is the same plan. It's just I don't, you know what? I didn't put in. I think regular pricing starts in February.
Okay.
February, I think. All these details will be spelled out when we send the
yeah, we can send you guys the date of between the early bird pricing and the regular pricing, but probably it'll be the month of January would be all early bird, and then February would just go to regular pricing from there.
Yeah. Okay. If you're wondering how to pay, we just wanted to point this out right now to help keep it in mind for you, but we'll accept bill pay, Zelle, personal checks. We won't do Venmo. And you can do credit card. However, if you do pay by credit card, there is a 3% surcharge for it. And so we do have laid out here the credit card pricing. It does increase, your total cost by 3%. So again, welcome to do that. But if you'd rather avoid those credit card charges, then please go ahead and choose another option. Okay. We are getting some questions. If you were to have a long wait list, would the refund policy change? Oh, sorry. Can you clarify a little bit more? If we were to
they're probably saying like if we had people on the wait list, would the refund policy change? Yeah, I would say it would just go, if there was a wait list, then we would just transfer that reservation to the next person on the wait list. Mm-hmm. As long, as we would go down the wait list and whoever was able to sign up and put down their deposit and pay, and then you would be able to get your money back from there. Definitely.
Yeah. Yep. As long as someone takes your slot and pays for it, then we can refund you that.
Yeah. And we would definitely be able to, keep, if you had to cancel or need a refund and there was a wait list, we would definitely give that to you as an option.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Obviously we would be so sad to lose you, but we would want another person who was hoping to come be able to do that as well. So great question. Okay. Well, that actually brings us right to our last thing. Are there any more questions from anyone on here? You can go ahead and put it in the chat and we would be happy to answer anything. Well, you are also, like, if you don't have any questions right now, but you think of something, we are such a small business at this point that we are so accessible. You can email us at hello@thenapatable.com. You can go onto our website and leave there's a contact form there you can get in touch with us through. You can message on our Instagrams. We have 2 Instagrams. We've got our official The Napa Table one that Haley, it's kind of her baby. It's great. That's where we post a lot of our business stuff. And then I actually have a second Instagram, the sister Instagram, which is double me there. And it's called Marin's Seat _ The Napa Table. And it's kind of like the Napa Table in real life, like the unfiltered, the uncarefully crafted. It's really just like me implementing the principles and the philosophy of the Napa Table in my life. And my life is chaotic and messy because of the millions of kids I have, and the dog and our jobs and everything we're doing. So that's kind of I post all sorts of stuff like fashion and food and life and just things. So anyways, if you have any questions, please go ahead and reach out to us through either of those places or on Facebook. We would also love to invite you to our private Facebook group. Again, it's very small, but you can find that on our website, I believe, or you can search on Facebook for the Napa Tables private members group.
Yeah.
Oh, Haley.
Yes.
Let's someone is telling you that she or he lives in Austin and have shopped at the cheese shop at Antonelli's.
Yay!
Cool.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, Antonelli's is the best. They are the real deal. I don't know if anybody has seen like their commercial. They have a Capital One commercial that is on, I feel like it's on every other commercial that I see. And every time I see them, I'm like, because they really are as great as they seem online and everything. So that's so fun. I love that you live in Austin and Antonelli's
Cindy
is
in
so
Austin.
great.
Yay. That's awesome. Yeah, Antonelli's is super cute. I've been there. Me and my husband, I lived in Texas too at the same time Haley did. And I actually lived not in the city of Austin, but on the outskirts of it. But I would go down and visit Haley while she worked
Yeah.
there. That was actually my very first introduction to like fine cheese. It's where I tried cheese for the first time and thought, oh wow, this is actually really good. I tried it before and did not think that.
Oh, there actually is a difference between the block cheddar you buy in the grocery store and the cheese cut off the block at the cheese shop. Who knew?
Yes. I mean, I thought I was pretty high and fine because I ate Munster cheese. And no one eats Munster cheese. You can buy it in the block and in the great value sliced packaging, but even my family was like Munster cheese, and they thought I was woo. Now I they can't even say the name to. But
there's no judgment on any cheese. When I was pregnant, I could literally only eat Torchy's queso. That was all I wanted, and that was all I could stomach. And I stand by it. It's great. Cheese in all forms.
Well, we are going to wrap up and not keep you any longer. If you have any more questions, please email us, find us on social media, leave a note on our website. We're available all these places. Some of you might even just know us and you can text us. What if you do not plan to come with someone? That's a great question, Cindy. I would say, so the options for pricing are, if you want your own hotel room, you have to pay double to take up both slots because of the way we have everything arranged. But I would encourage you to, I guess there might be another person. We'll just see how registration goes and how the slots fill up.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we would probably have you share a room. The nice thing about the chateau that is really fabulous is each room, almost all the rooms in the chateau have like an extra butler's room. It's really interesting. They almost all have an extra beds or like an extra room. So they're very, very spacious. Obviously, the hotel rooms in Paris are not that way. They're beds that have two mattresses that are pushed together, or they can separate them. But the chateau itself is very, very spacious. And even though you'd be sharing a bathroom with somebody else, they're honestly, like, you could sleep in the separate room, or there's so much room to spread out that it would almost feel like having your own room in a lot of ways. But yeah, we would plan to put you with another single guest or person coming solo. And just, we would try our best to make sure that it's a good fit, and to make it so that you would make a new friend along the way, and do it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I anticipate there might be other groups that are odd numbers who someone would need, roommate anyways. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good questions. Okay. All right. Well, we are so excited about this. We'll have all this information is up on our website, but we'll put, as the time gets closer, we'll let you know when registration opens. You're all on our email list, so stay on that if you want to be able to know right when it opens. And we'll be sending out emails. Check out our Tableside series if you want to learn more from us, so especially with the holidays coming. Our Nourish Your Soul class, they are great gifts to give someone. If you're going to be in person in Napa, we even have gift certificates to attend a tasting with Haley. Those are so fun. Just let us know. Okay, well, hopefully we'll see you all in France.
Thank you guys so much. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Okay.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.